CFP versus CFA. Now, everything you want to know about the professional bodies, the acceptance across the world, what exactly do you study in the curriculums, what kind of jobs you get, most importantly, what kind of packages can you start with, what's the cost of doing both these courses, and finally, which one is the right one for you. Watch the video till the end, you've got all of this covered. CFP versus CFA. Now, CFP is basically Certified Financial Planner. Now, this is a certification awarded by the FPSB, which is the Financial Planning Standard Board, headquartered in the US, with presence in more than 27 countries across the world. On the other hand, the CFA program, which is Chartered Financial Analyst, now this is basically a qualification awarded by the CFA Institute headquartered in the US, with again extensive global presence in more than 170 countries across the world. Now let's understand the eligibility in exams. So CFP basically you can start anytime after grade 12, and there are overall 4 modules to complete. So as you can see on your screens, you need to clear an exam in investment planning, retirement and tax, risk and estate. ये clear करने के बाद you need to actually make an overall integrated financial plan. So it's like a real case study that you need to create that comprehensive plan and submit it for assessment. और उसके बाद आपको एक फाइनल एग्जाम देना पड़ता है, which is basically the FPSB CFP exam, right? So इस हिसाब से there are 4 modules and 1 case to submit. ये पूरा process होते होते it takes anywhere between 8 to 12 months, right? On the other hand, if you look at the CFA exam, now that's a very rigorous program. You can start after grade 12. You can start preparing for level 1 after grade 12, which is when you're in your first year, and you can give the level 1 exam when you're in your second year of graduation. Then you give your level 2 exam when you're in your third year of graduation, and you give your level 3 exam after you've completed graduation. So this is of course a longer process. It takes about 3.5 years for you to finish these 3 levels. CFA, when you're giving level-wise exams, there are several topics tested in an exam. So you're typically preparing for topics like ethics, equity, fixed income securities, derivatives, alternative investment, portfolio planning, portfolio management, quantitative techniques. Okay, so as you can see on your screens, ये list of topics होते हैं, and इनकी difficulty levels increase होती है level wise, but typically you study the same topics across the 3 levels, and it's a combination of all of these topics which is tested in the exam. Okay. Now let's talk about work experience. Now if you look at CFP, having completed the 4 modules, you need to have at least 1 year of active work experience under a CFP. That is when you can earn the certification, right? A Certified Financial Planner. And on the other hand, if you talk about CFA, having completed all the 3 levels, you need to submit 4,000 hours of active work experience, and that is when you become a CFA charter holder. Now let's talk about exams. So CFP exams are completely online, and they happen in 3 windows across the year. On the other hand, CFA exams are also online, and there are multiple windows. So level 1 exam, for example, happens 4 times a year. Level 2 exam happens 3 times a year, and level 3 exam happens 2 times a year. Now let's talk about work profiles. So as a CFP, your focus extensively is on personal financial planning, right? So you can work in a host of roles such as financial planner, estate planner, retirement planning specialist, insurance consultant, wealth manager. And typically the kind of organizations that give you jobs include banks, NBFCs, mutual fund companies, insurance companies, wealth management organizations, and so on. On the other hand, if you look at CFA का पूरा focus is around investment analysis and portfolio management, right? So you can typically grab roles as a financial analyst, as a portfolio manager, investment officer, wealth manager, and the kind of organizations typically that absorb CFAs are banks, commercial banks, investment banks, private equity, hedge funds, AMCs, wealth management, and so on. Now let's talk about start salaries. So as a certified financial planner, typically we've seen that students start at a package of anywhere between 4 to 6 lakhs, okay? And of course, as you add more years of work experience, this figure moves northwards. On the other hand, if you look at CFA, once you've completed your 3 levels, you can grab a package of anywhere between 7 to 9 lakhs. And once you add those 4,000 hours of work experience, and you become a charter holder, typically we've seen packages been anywhere between 10 to 15 lakhs. And of course, with age and experience, these figures again move northwards. And now finally coming to the cost. So if you look at the cost of doing CFP, if you add the exam fees and the coaching fees, you can finish the entire certification in under 2 lakhs. And on the other hand, if you look at the CFA program, typically if you add the exam fees and again the coaching fees, all in all put together is an investment of anywhere between 4.5 to 5 lakh. Now, if you have more questions on CFP or CFA, or you're not sure of what's the right one for you, please reach out to us and we'll be very happy to help. Also, if you want to know more about CFA, we have an entire playlist on our YouTube channel. Go check that out. You'll find a lot of information for yourself. Good luck.